from underneath. Bro, you carrying life, sit down, decompress. This room built for men who survive every test. We talk purpose, pressure, peace and the grind. How to stay solid when the world wants your mind. Young cats listen cause the wisdom hit different. OGs nod cause the message stay consistent. No ego in a room, just truth, no flex. Real brotherhood, grown talk, nothing less. We sharpen each other, iron cut through the noise. A space for grown men, not grown boys. Real men, real talk, step inside, unwind. Barbershop talk, sharp lines for the mind. Brothers link up cause the space feel right. Blizzardabroad, giving real men a mic. Strength in the circle, that's respect in motion. Exhale today, tomorrow we move with devotion. This is Blizzardabroad. Barbershop talk, real man, real talk. Real man, real talk, step inside, unwind. Barbershop talk, sharp lines for the mind. Brothers link up cause the space feel right. Blizzardabroad, giving real men the mic. Strength in the circle, that's respect in motion. Exhale today, tomorrow we move with devotion. This is Blizzardabroad, yeah. Barbershop talk.
Salute. Welcome back to Blizzardabroad. How y'all doing out there tonight? Hope y'all doing good, man. Y'all know what it is. Friday night in America. Barbershop talk. Can y'all hear me good? Salute. More than a feeling. Salute. How you doing? BIY is in the building early. How are y'all, man? How was this week? How'd this week go for y'all? Hope it went good. Mine went good. Mine was good. Hard week at work, but it is what it is. We grinding every day, every day. Excuse my voice. My voice feeling a little hoarse. So we do got a topic tonight. This is going to be 90 minutes. This is going to be 90 minutes. And the way I set it up tonight is we're going to do 90 minutes on this topic. This stream will auto direct to the open panel where we're going to open it up. Hopefully I got a special guest coming through. So stay tuned for that. You know, so this stream will auto direct to the next stream with the open panel. And then after the open panel, that stream will direct straight to our members only, where we can chop it up on a more personal level and get to know and communicate and fellowship with my members. Check y'all temperature, see how y'all doing. Y'all can check mine too. But I'm gonna hop right into it. First things first, I have to say, unfortunately, you know, rest in peace to Cohen Wiley. And if y'all don't know who that is, man, this one really, really hit me hard, man, because, you know, I get to play with my grandson every day. I get to take care of him. And just the thought of a tragedy. So rest in peace to Cohen Wiley, 1-year-old kid, man, that was killed. It's sad. It is sad. So my heart goes out to the family and everybody involved in that. Just a horrible tragedy, man. A crime in my eyes. It's a crime in my eyes because it's unnecessary. Second, happy Juneteenth to my people. Salute. Happy Juneteenth to all of y'all out there. If you celebrate it, if you don't celebrate it, a big day in America. Ray, salute. How you doing, Ray? It's good to see you, my brother. So yeah, happy Juneteenth. You know, hopefully it's gonna be a lot of cookouts, a lot of, you know, getting together, spending time with family, man. You know, it's a national holiday now. It's a national holiday now. So, and I worked on Juneteenth. I had to work. You know what I mean? It's the irony of that. But anyway, the topic tonight is something that I've been over And if you pay attention, if you watch me, if you listen to me, you will see this sentiment, this message echo throughout all of my content. And I'm talking about the five. Yes, 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 Cisco. Happy Juneteenth, man. He says condolences to the family. Shouldn't have happened. Not at all, man. Shouldn't have happened at all, man. And to see the immediate reaction from people is really sad. That immediate reaction. Well, this is, oh, it's the mother's fault. Is this like, all right? I knew the story that they were telling was BS off the rip. I knew it was BS, man. And even if it wasn't, you know, you don't take a life over something like that. The callousness with the reaction to this whole tragedy. And I touched on it a little bit the other night on the live streams. Just the callousness that we feel for each other. You know, Mike the landlord, salute. Welcome back. Welcome back, man. Good to see you in here, man. So tonight's topic is the 5 stages of the manosphere. And I've went over this before of how it does hit you in stages and how some people, they get stuck on one stage or another. I don't know. Hopefully we could get stuck on stage 5, but I'm going to go through them tonight and I'll name them up front. In my eyes, in my eyes, step 1 is the awakening, right? Step 2 is the anger. Step 3 is the mirror. Step 4 is the silence. And step 5 is the advocate. So like I said, we got 90 minutes and we're going to go through this. You guys let me know if you want to chime in, if you got anything to add. If I miss anything, just let me know, man. So tonight is really not about, in this segment, it's really not about, the debate or anything like that. If you have something to offer, please, there are people out here that need good information, not just drama and toxicity. Our sons are watching us. Our daughters are watching us. I know it at all times. They're watching us. So if we, the men, can deliver a message that will help somebody in the future, that's what tonight is all about. Overall, that's what Blizzard Abroad and the Positive Manosphere is about. So Manosphere stage number 1, because there is levels to this. And if we can understand that there are levels to this, it will help us. It will help us. Nah, not men only. Absolutely not. I speak, my audience is like 88% men. So of course the message is going to be tailored to them a little bit, but overall, anybody can use this because we're all humans, right? So salute to Elet. Elet is in the building. Good to see you in here. Aubrey, salute. How you doing? Russ is in the building. Russ is in the building. All right. Now, like I said, man, woman, younger adult, older adult, hopefully, we all can add to this conversation because that's what it's about. All right. And I'll go through it step by step. Got my notes right here. The awakening. What am I talking about when I talk about the awakening, man? For me, it was about, just waking up one day at 45 years old, getting asked one question. It took one question for me to almost like my whole worldview changed. I realized that I had lived my whole life for everybody else around me, and now that I finally was on my own, becoming an empty nester, I didn't know what the hell I really wanted. I didn't know what I wanted out of life, basically. And that's a sad place to be in, especially when you're 44, 45 years old. Everything, every plan, every dollar was saved, everything, was for other people. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's my journey. I don't regret that. But it doesn't have to be just that scenario. It could be you're in a long-term relationship. You gave your world to somebody. you know, you lived for that person. You sacrificed. And then one day they pop the no fault divorce on you, just up and walk away. Your whole world is changed. You know, your whole world is changed. You know what I mean? Just like that. You know, and you realize, like, damn, I sacrificed all this time, all this energy, all, all this effort, into this person. And just like that, they're gone. You know, I put 25 years into this company and busted my ass, missed time with my family. I didn't take vacations when I should have because I was thinking about the company, and then they just let me go. They just get rid of me, let me go. That's sacrifice. That's what I'm talking about. And waking up to realize that you're just a cog in the system. You know, you realize that you've been lied to your whole life. The things you've been working for your whole life was an illusion. That is the awakening that some, not all of us, go through. And particularly if you're my age, it hits hard. It hits hard because when you're a dedicated person, when you take especially the burden of masculinity, when you take that serious, man, it's not a game. You put everything into it. You wake up one day and it's not there. It's changed. That's the awakening, right? You don't know what it is. You don't understand it because you never planned for it. It's the one thing you did not plan for, right? What do you do with that? What do you do with this feeling of it was all for nothing? It was all for nothing. Like me, honestly, and I'm gonna be straight up honest with y'all. I for a little while there, I went into a depression. You know, I went into a depression. I'm not gonna lie. This is about like 4 years ago. Not one where I couldn't function or I didn't engage with people or interact with people or anything like that. But it was there. It was there. You know, I started watching. A lot of YouTube. I never used to watch YouTube. Like that's why I always say, like I'm really new to YouTube, man. Like even watching it, even though I used to like upload my videos, like my coaching videos and stuff like that, I never sat and watched YouTube. But I started because I had time. I had a lot of time on my hand. Like I said, everybody was leaving the house. It was just me and work. So I started watching YouTube, man. What happened was I started going into a little bit into stage 2, the anger. And I'm gonna tell you what it was about. You know, I started seeing my story or versions of my story and what I went through and how all over on the internet, man. I started seeing videos about it. Luckily, I didn't slip too far. I didn't really slip too far. But what happened is now I had a face. I had, something to put that loss on, that loss that I was feeling, that emptiness I was feeling. You know, a lot of men, they put it on, women, the system. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And a lot of women will put it on men in the system, you know. But that stage right there, the anger stage, is the stage where the doom merchants live at, you know. So I talked about doom merchants the other day. This is the stage where they live at, the anger stage. You know what I'm saying? This is the stage that a lot of red pillars live at. And it's why before when I talked about it, I said there is something after the red pill. They don't want you to graduate to the third step. You know, if I was a red pillar, like my job would be to get you to the next step. Like, look, bro, we understand your pain. That's how it started. We understand your pain. We know what you're going through, man. Look, this is what you got to do, man. You got to focus on yourself. You got to get yourself right. You got to hold yourself accountable. And I know somebody who can show you how to get to step 3 in the best way. If you know what I'm saying. That's what it was meant to be. That's what it was for. That is the real manosphere. Not this, not this version that we're seeing today. It should be about elevating and graduating each step. You know. So the doom merchants, they don't want you to graduate. They don't want you to elevate because they lose a customer. Right? If I was up here and I was a doom merchant, I would say something to rile you up. I would say something that's going to trigger some emotion in you, right? But I'm never going to give you the real solution. Because if I give you that solution, you're not going to watch me anymore. You don't need me anymore. So that's why this is like the pivotal point, right? Is realizing that you're actually in stage 2, right? Realize what you're consuming, and then make a decision. If you want to stay there, then that's on you. But just know that there is another step that you should be trying to graduate to, you know, and that's step 2. Step 2 is the anger, you know, and the reason why it's so easy to stay in step 2, right, is because step 3 is so hard, right? And step 3 or stage 3 is the mirror. It's the mirror, guys. The one that nobody wants is to actually have to look at yourself and admit that you're not perfect, that you could do things different. You can be a better person. You can learn from other people, not just perfect people. You can learn from other people. Step 3 is the mirror. Like I said, staying in that anger is so easy because this is the hardest step out of all of them. Out of all of them, this is the hardest step. This is where you stop blaming everybody else. You stop blaming women for your problem. You stop blaming men for your shortcomings. You stop blaming the system because all that is out there. You're not going to change all men. You're not going to change all women. You alone are not going to change the system. The one thing that you have absolute control over is you. It's you. The way you react to things, the way you plan things, the way you see things. You can train your mind. I'm sorry for all the hand movements today, guys. But I get passionate about this. Y'all don't see me get passionate about a lot of things, but I really am passionate about this. I love talking about this. The mirror stage, man. The mirror. You know? I ain't tolerating the BS tonight, y'all. I'm very, very swift. Like I said, if you don't got nothing positive to add, if you don't got nothing to add to the conversation, I'm just gonna boot you. I'm gonna boot you tonight. Because this is serious, man. This is serious, man. It's Men's Mental Health Month. You know, Nobody wants to talk about it seriously. Mm. So before I move on to step 4, because like I said, we're not gonna be up here that long tonight. In this segment, I'll read some of you guys' comments. Elet says, showing love, Blizz. Thank you, thank you. Shout out to the Vertical Universe from Cisco. Elet says, hey now your shenanigans. Do you know your face muscles won't let you look up and stick your tongue out? I don't know. I'll try it after the stream. I'll try it. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Happy Juneteenth. All thank you. Thank you for saying that, Russ. Yes. Mike Blair says, love your content. You always bring such a great vibe and make everything so enjoyable to watch. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. That's better than the super chat. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing that. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I promise we're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep it like that here. So thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate you. Mike the landlord says, that's why I always tell people don't take life too seriously. It will eat you alive. Yeah, if you focus on certain things, yeah. And I kind of say the same type of thing. Find something that you enjoy. Get outside of your comfort zone, man. Don't just focus on the negativity, because that's always going to be there. You don't know how much time you got left. Cisco says, just got back from the mountains, gonna gas up and watch my cars going to the coast tomorrow. We'll be BG for a minute. Yes, salute, bro. Do what you gotta do. We're gonna be here a while, man. I think we scheduled out until 3 a.m. on the East Coast. Something like that. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you. And yes, happy Father's Day, because I probably won't see y'all on Father's Day. But who knows? Who knows? But no, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. Salute to y'all. Thank you for doing a good job. We see it, even amongst all the BS, man. We see you here. Here we see you. And y'all doing y'all things. The fathers out there that's doing what they need to do. Salute to you. Orange Lily is in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. He said, DIY says, I've been on YouTube only since 2000. Damn, only? I started my channel almost 2.5 years now. Everybody saying, what up? Juice is in the building. Salute, brother. How you doing? He said, what up, good people? Happy Juneteenth. They all have solutions. They all have the problems to share with you, but no solutions. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And my solution is always going to include a look inward. Look in that mirror, man. Because no matter what nobody tell you, no matter what advice anybody gives you, they could give you the greatest advice in the world. If you don't execute, if you don't follow through, then it doesn't mean anything. The onus is still on you. At the end of the day, I could give you the perfect plan to be successful at whatever you want to be in life. If you don't execute it, that's on you. But a lot of people won't accept that. They'll find a way to blame somebody else. Even if it is even if it's 99% someone else's fault, there's still that 1%. Yeah. All right. Place accountability where it lies, right? So 99% to them, you take your 1%. If that's all it is, you take it. If it's 50-50, absolutely take it. But people will focus on the other person's fault or the other person's doing, and they'll never sit back and say, yes, that person was wrong, but I allowed it, but I went along with it, but I chose it. Why? Why did I choose? What scenario, what position was I in mentally, whatever? emotionally, that I went along with that BS. You know, that I allowed that to happen to me. I always say it, man. Yeah, I know I be talking to the men a lot, and I don't be. One thing I'm not gonna do is pander to men. You know, because it seems like that's an epidemic nowadays. That's another epidemic, man. Men want to be pandered to. You know, if you say something they agree with, you know, we just walk away from. We don't want to hear it. You know, I ain't pandering to no man. You know, we don't need to be pandered to, man. We need to be told what it is. You know. Cisco, yo, bro, from Juice. Boravlis. It's the most positive thing you have heard in a long time. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good evening, Roger Walker. Salute, man. Salute. Happy Juneteenth. I'm grateful. Me too. I'm absolutely grateful for my ancestors, my forefathers. Just can't say enough. Can't say enough about what they endured, how they came out of it, what they achieved, what they fought for and gained for us. Play Keen in the car real quick. Be right back. Yes, happy Father's Day. Happy early Father's Day to all the men who take care of their kids or another man's kids. Absolutely. We don't shame stepfathers over here neither. We don't shame stepfathers over here. You know, I'm a stepfather. You know, Michael Alexander is in the building. Salute. So we went over the awakening. You know, when you wake up that day, and it may not all come at once. But you realize that you ain't living the life that you wanted to live. You living someone else's dream. You know, you sacrificing for everybody else around you. You know, and it really doesn't matter. You know, you've been taken for granted. You've been left. You know, you've been left behind after you helped everybody else accomplish what they wanted out of life. You know, like I said, there ain't really nothing wrong with that. If that's what you plan to do, then it is what it is. But not everybody planned it that way. So that's the awakening when you realize, like, this is off, man. It ain't supposed to be this way, man. For a lot of people, it's the American dream. Like I was talking about the other day, a lot of people are just realizing it. That is full of shit. That's what I'm talking about. You hear it. You hear it now. They were lied to. The American dream, this, and that. Yes. You're having an awakening. This is what we're talking about. You know, the awakening. We went to the second stage. The anger. You see that too. You see that everywhere. Right? Especially if you're online, you're on social media. You can't deny that you don't see the anger. You know, it's out there. People are in stage 2 a lot. And they're very loud and vocal about it. You know, that's where the doom merchants reside. They want you stuck in that anger. If I could get you angry and keep you upset, you're reactive now. You're reactive, man. So all I gotta do is push that button and you're gonna go. You're gonna go. You're not gonna grow. All right. Step 2 is the anger. And like I said, the reason why, you know, it's so easy to stay in that anger, because to progress out of it, you got to go to stage 3. And stage 3 is that look in the mirror. It's that moment when you look and you can see your flaws before anybody else's, right? One thing I try to do, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. One thing I try to do, and it sounds messed up. It sounds like it sounds crazy. Yeah. So I didn't always do it before. Is I'll blame myself before I blame anybody else. Always, man. I'll always try to see when something goes wrong. I'll always try to see where I fucked up at. First, because I know I could fix that. I could change that. Whatever I did, I could change going forward. You know, I can't change what nobody else do going forward. No matter how mad I get, how much I tell them off, cuss them out, you know, they still get the option to do whatever they want to do. But I absolutely could change what I do going forward. You know, the mirror, the hardest step, man. And like we see a lot of grown people out here, men and women. There's a lot of grown ass people that will not be accountable for anything. They won't take accountability to this day. And it's sad because, like I said, there's a whole generation of youngins out there that's emulating them, that's learning from them, you know, taking advice from them, you know. See it every day, man. It's one of them. It's one of the things that really does get to me, man. Um, it is a pet peeve of mine. You know, it's when I see grown ass people, 50, 60 years old, man, just acting a fool, acting a fool, acting ignorant, not taking accountability for what they do and the damage they left behind. You know, it's everywhere, man. Just go look around, man. Like, if you want to see it, I'm not saying to focus on it, but if you want to see it, it's definitely out there, man. It's out there everywhere. You know. So that was the first three. Now we go to number four. And number four, guys, if you made a big change in your life, man, if you ever made a big change in your life, um, you know the fourth stage, the silence. You go dark, man. You go dark because this is where you done looked at yourself. You done figure out where you went wrong after taking that hard, long look in the mirror. You know, now it's time to get to work. This is where you figure out what you really want to do. This is where your plan is formulated. This is where the work is done. It's done in the silence, man. And you need it. But we're so scared to sit with ourselves. We don't want the silence. We want the noise. We go seek out the noise when it gets too quiet and when it's time for us to sit with ourselves. It should be the most comfortable, most peaceful place is to be able to just sit with yourself in your thoughts, you know. But for a lot of people, they can't deal with it. They can't deal with looking in the mirror. They can't deal with, confronting themselves, you know. So they turn that noise up all the way, right? They turn that noise up, man. There's no applause for what you're doing. There's no audience for what you're doing in the silence. It's just you and the work you're putting in and the sacrifice, not the whole different type of sacrifice, because now you're sacrificing for yourself. If you fail, it's on you. Most men and women in this stage, you see what they start doing. They start moving different, man. They stop hanging out so much. They might start working out. Yeah, this is the workout stage. This is the all right, I got a plan and I need this much. So I'm gonna put a couple extra hours in. You know, it's that stage. This the oh shit, I should have finished that degree. I should have finished that degree. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to school and I'm gonna accomplish that. 'Cause that's gonna get me a step closer to my goal. Like I said, watch, guys. This is the stage where the work gets done. When you start coming out of that depression, right? You looked in the mirror, figured out what you really want out of life, no matter what stage you're in, you know, no matter what stage you're in. The silence is where the work gets done. You're not performing for anybody. You're putting the work in. This is the stage that's not about relationships. You know what I mean? Unless it's the right one. This is where you really work on your boundaries, your standards, what you want out of in life, and what you require. I'm sorry, what you require from others to be a part of your life. This is where it all starts to come together. The work is done in the silence, man. It's not done out in the open in front of the crowd. You don't need an audience for this. And you ain't gonna get no damn applause for doing what you need to do for yourself. The silence, man. I love it. I love it because I could sit with myself. I really could, man. I could sit with myself. I know people that can't. They can't stand being alone. They can't stand just sitting in silence without watching something, playing some music loud, without diddling. Try it, man. I'm not really talking about meditating, but it's almost like I don't call it meditating, but I love sitting with myself and my thoughts, man. How about y'all, man? How many of y'all meditate? How many of y'all like the silence, man? You know, takes a discipline, to sit in that silence, man. To sit with yourself, man. Doesn't mean that your absence of thought. No, you are thought in this. You are. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna read y'all comments. Give me 1 minute. Let me finish this little segment up, man. This is the construction phase of your life, man. In this stage, I ain't gonna lie. In this stage, this is where you planning. A lot of us is where we plan to become expats. But this plan gets hammered out. So a lot of people in this chat, man, they've been through it, man. A lot of us have been through this stage, man. A lot haven't. You know, it's sad when you see the people who haven't gotten to this stage, man. Um, they're still blaming others for their problems, scared to look in the mirror. They're still angry and upset at everybody else. Even when all the other things in their life look like they've progressed, but emotionally, nah, they haven't gotten to this stage yet. They still stuck. They might have money. They might have a good looking woman on their arm, but they stuck. They still stuck. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is where you formulate the plan. This is where you start executing the plan. This is the stage where you succeed. It's in this stage, Obviously, for some of us, it ain't quiet because we want to share. This is the stage. Honestly, if I wasn't on YouTube, I would be in the quiet stage, man. The silence, just putting the work in. I do it. Like I go dark. Man. I'm putting in work. I'm putting in work to try to get to where I want to be at in life, man. So yeah, I'm on YouTube. I talk a lot. I share. But honestly, man, I am still in the silent stage of just, because behind the scenes, I'm handling my business. But this is where the growth is done. This is it. Let me read. So I'll go on to the next stage. Let me read some of y'all comments real quick. Where'd I stop at? Salute. Orange Lily says, I'm still trying looking up and sticking my tongue out. Oh, man. Good luck. I'm going to try it. What's the plan, my brothers? Juice saying what up? Ray Shaw is in the building. Salute, man. Ray Shaw, how you doing, bro? Stick around. Hopefully y'all stick around for the open panel part. That'll be coming up at what time did I say it was gonna be? 11:30. 11:30 on the East Coast. 11:30 in the Philippines. 8:30 on the West Coast. Adam is in the building. Salute, bro. A better life starts by fixing what you can today. Yeah, whatever you can. If there's something wrong, work on it, man. Don't ignore it. And don't put it on to nobody else. But it's crazy how like people can't have no self-awareness. Maybe that's just what it is, man. We gotta account for that, for the people that just have no self-awareness. They don't even realize sometimes where they went wrong at all or how they could change themselves. I'm only accountable for myself. Absolutely. There's only one person in this world that you have complete and absolute control over, and that's yourself. Howdy all. Salute. Tree News Discernment. Salute, bro. How you doing? He says, most men never permanently evolve past level 2. For me, it took witnessing the harsh realities of war, death, and deep personal sacrifices to break through. Absolutely, man. The path isn't for everyone. Only those truly committed to growth and transformation. Keep pushing forward, Blizzard. You understand the journey. Thank you, man. Thank you for saying that, man. But like you said, a lot of people are stuck in stage 2, man. The anger, they can't get past it. And it's something that I talk about all the time, trying to give like little tips, tricks to just switch your thinking, man. Slowly, and that's the problem, because it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight. None of us change overnight, especially at 50, 60 years old, right? So we gotta be, if we gonna change, it's gonna be by being consistent, doing consistent things, exercises, way of thinking. Sorry, to get to the other side of this, man. You can't be stuck in this anger phase for 20 years, man. Think anything's gonna come out of it. A lot of people that saying they healed are not healed, man. They still in this stage. It looks like they're winning, but watch what they doing. Watch how they act. Watch some of these grown ass men and really look at how they act. Let's be real, man. People that are healed and doing well mentally, emotionally, they don't act the way a lot of these people that we're encountering nowadays act, right? Grown, healed men and women don't go around fucking with people on the internet all day long and call it fun, right? They don't blame their problems on everybody else, man. They figure out solutions to their problems. And that one of those solutions is never going to be to get everyone else around me to change so I can have an easier path. That's not a solution, man. I know people like that. I know men that want all women to change, they're yelling at out into the abyss. All women need to, and it's the same on the other side. All men ain't shit. All women ain't shit. Because none of them been right for me so far in my life. You know? So yeah, there's a lot of people stuck, and you see it, and it's coming out, and it comes out. It gets spewed all over everybody else because they refuse to look in the mirror and accept accountability for the things that they've done wrong in their life. They don't want to look, they don't want to progress to stage 3 and take a good hard look in that damn mirror and change whatever they can change about themselves. They'd rather break the mirror than to look in it. I say that all the time, man. People would rather break the damn mirror than to take a look into it. And like I said, they'll break your mirror if they see their reflection in it. Like, imagine that. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying about when I say that? That they'll break your mirror if they see their own reflection in it. They're the disruptors everywhere they go. They hear a message they don't agree with. They want to shut the messenger down instead of realizing that, hey, maybe that message isn't for me. It's for someone else that needs to hear that message. That's what I'm saying about the alley oop analogy. It's like, I'm giving some young man an alley oop, and I got some old ass decrepit man come in and just smack the ball out the air, because they don't agree. And I'm like, bro, that alley wasn't for you. It was for this person that needed it. You know. Russ says, I've been meaning to try meditation. I am in silence quite a bit. Not formally. Yeah, I'm the same. I wouldn't call it meditating. Just deep thoughts, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guess some people have some dark thoughts in here, man, that they don't want to sit with. I'm comfortable even with my dark thoughts. Just let it, let it happen. Kamal's in the building. Salute, bro. I hope you're doing better, man. I seen your upload, man. Y'all go check out our good brother Kamal, man. He's been uploading lately. He's down in Virginia right now. Salute to you, bro. Stay strong. Like I said, breathe, man. Breathe. You know what I mean? We don't need nothing going on that don't need to be going on. But salute to you, man. Stay strong. Keep the uploads coming, bro. We watching, man. I'm loving them so far. Adam says, I live in a peaceful village, plenty of time to reflect on myself. Yeah. For me, like I always say, for me, it's moving bodies of water. And I could just sit there for hours. And like I said, man, I love it. Or sometimes I wake up hours and hours earlier than the time I need to wake up. And I'll just sit there, man. I don't need nothing. I don't need my phone. I don't need to go grab it from my phone. I don't need to turn the TV on. Sometimes I just sit there, man. And just, sometimes I fall asleep. Sometimes I just sit there till the alarm. comes on. But you definitely need that time. And a lot of people avoid that at all costs. First thing they want to do when they wake up is grab their phone or turn the news on. The news of all things. You want to start your day with the news? I get you want to know what's going on, but that's not a good idea because it's doom and gloom. Starting your day off with doom and gloom right out the gate. Bad idea. I don't even watch the news anymore. I told y'all that. I read the news. I read it in an app, you know, where everything is categorized by what it is. I don't have to like Google News, you know, but you could categorize things. And I get to choose whether I see the headlines. I see all the headlines, but it's not like watching it on TV where they're just dictating to you what they're gonna present to you. You know, at least I could be like, oh shit, I want to read about this. And I tap on it and I read it. You know, you watch the news, you could be in the middle, you could be in the middle of a feel good story, you know, and then breaking news. We're in a war with Iran. Like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? But anyway, man. Read the rest of these comments. MJ had me singing when I was younger, but it came through fruition eventually. I'm looking for the man in the mirror. Be the change. Absolutely, man. And that's the energy I love having over here, man. That's the energy I love having over here on this channel, man. The positive manosphere. But so believe it or not, there's no membership, there's no sign up, there's no dues. You don't gotta get jumped in. You ain't gonna get jumped out. But all of y'all in here is part of the positive manosphere. So salute to y'all. Adam says, I have created a life I'm happy with, not much more to fix. Just keep growing where I can. Yep. Be willing to grow. Be willing to learn. A lot of us, a lot of people are just not willing to learn and change. Even the ones who are intelligent in most areas, you know, there's still something you could learn. I don't care if you a neurophysicist, man. You may need to learn something about something else. You know, you still had to take English, you know, you still had to take other like I don't know. I believe you can learn from anybody. You can learn something from anybody. No, everybody don't believe that. I do, you know, may not be the subject I'm looking for knowledge in, uh, but I may learn something else. And that's why I listen to people. Like I listen to people. Like I let people talk. Um, it could be a flaw at sometimes, but I'm aware of it. I do let people talk, man. I do try to listen and hear people out. If I got the time for it, if I had the time for it, why not? Yeah. So when I open up the panel, I ask you guys to come up. Please know that I'm gonna let you talk, unless you start saying some crazy shit. Because I do have a limit. You know, I say I think I'm a good guy, but I ain't that nice. You know, if you know the difference. Working on cleaning my cars, not listening. Yeah. All right. How about that? I was like, yo, Cisco funny as hell. There are some things in life that are beyond your control from Adam. Yep. And you gotta accept that too. We have to accept that as well. I forgot the thing what they say in AA. Courage. Damn. I forgot it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Serenity. Damn. Drawing a blank, man. Can't move forward while change. Who knows the serenity prayer, man? Can y'all type it in there for me? That's what I was trying to say. The serenity prayer, but I don't even remember it. Takes a lot, cry, harsh reality. Yeah, man. Like I said, stay strong, bro. See, Smith. Yeah, because I seen you was down in Chesapeake. When I seen Military Boulevard, I was like, damn, is he? And then you said it, like I was like, oh man, bro. I gotta get back down there. I'll be down there this summer before the summer's over. Yeah, I lived in Chesapeake for 2 years. Caught up with the all right, so we're caught up. So far we've went over the awakening, right? The awakening stage, the anger stage, the mirror stage, and the silence stage. Right? The last one I was talking about was the silence stage, and that's where the work gets done. That's where you go dark, man. A lot of people do it. Go dark. You learn a new skill. You're learning a new skill. You're getting in shape. You're changing your diet. You focusing on maybe a career change, going back to school. This is where you're formulating your plans. Like for me, this is where I figured out where I want to live overseas. I want to become an expat, you know. And so how do I do it? And where do I want to end up at? So I got those figured out. Now it's just about putting in the work. It's about putting in the work. Everybody wants to be an expat nowadays. That's why I said, you hear these people saying a lot of people moving out of the state. Oh, a lot of Americans are moving abroad. And when you look the numbers up, I did a live stream on that too. There's not a lot of Americans becoming expats. It's like 1%. Was it? I gotta look back, but I think it was like 1 to 2% of Americans, men and women, become expats. Everybody wants to, but to get there, it does take some work. I don't care like where you're going. It does take some work, man. And the ones who don't do the work, we see them. We see the results, man. We see them going broke, getting scammed, being miserable, coming back home in a short time, not setting things up the right way. Because they don't want to sit down and have a look in the mirror, have a real conversation with themselves. They don't want to take accountability for the things, that they done wrong to end up in the position that they're in. So they don't take accountability for it. They repeat it and they fail again. Ryan with the 299. Let me give you the TJ super chat. C. Smith, salute. Welcome, man. Salute to all the people in Vertical. Salute to y'all, man. I know it could be a rough crowd over there, man. So if y'all hanging in over there, man, salute and thank you. I almost put the subscribers only on the Vertical stream, but I guess I really didn't need to. I have faith. I said, nah, man. I think it was just the topic I had the last time. Brought a bunch of trolls out. So it was good to see. I got some good people in here, man. I got some genuine people in here, man. C. Smith says, emotional intelligence is key for growth. Absolutely, man. So I think it is absolutely, of course it is. Of course it is. But what is it? And that's the problem. Do we know what it is, man? Like, when you say emotional intelligence, it's like for me, I'm gonna be real. Even for me, it's hard to like put put it in a definition on it. And I think a lot of us feel that way. They just don't want to say it because you're gonna sound stupid saying it. You know what I mean? Like even me just saying it now. Like, but I'm not scared to say that. But I think just knowing what you're feeling and being comfortable acknowledging what you're feeling, you know, there are people out here that will help us understand it, but we won't fucking listen. You know, we won't listen to it. Not always. And one thing I know I used to do that was very bad for me was push all my emotions down. Like I would suck it up. When they say suck it up, I would suck it up. All my emotions, man. I wouldn't let them show. I wouldn't let them out. And I think that's a big problem. That's a huge problem. I'm not saying I walk around now like some just spewing emotion and pain or whatever I'm going through everywhere. But now at least I know how to utilize the outlets I have. I'm not perfect at it, but I know who I could go to when I need to talk. Absolutely. Not just complain, not just vent, but when I really want advice, I know where to go. Right. I actually now know how to talk about my feelings. I'm not, like I said, I'm not amazing at it, but you know, I'm learning and I'm willing to be vulnerable to talk about my emotions now, which I never was before. I'm one of those American expats, so bro, salute to you, Ray. And you got people coming behind. So salute to you. What does accountability look like for men? It looks the same as it looks for y'all, for women. It's absolutely the same. You know, you know, you don't let you don't blame all your problems on nobody else. Like me, I say it all the time, man. I hear a lot of people, uh, especially in the manosphere, in the niche I'm in. I don't think I'm manosphere, but in the niche I'm in, you hear a lot of complaining nowadays from men. You hear a lot of putting their problems on everybody else. They can tell all the women what they need to do and how they need to change, but they'll never say what they need to change about themselves. That look in the mirror, when you look in the mirror, if you take a real look in the mirror, you're gonna see flaws. If you're honest with yourself, I can see where I ruined relationships. I can see where I caused my divorce. I can see that. I can own up to it. I always have. I've never lied about that. You know, never. Was she 100% right? Absolutely no. I would say it was like, 65 me, 35 her. We both have some fault in it. We both have fault, you know. But instead of me focusing on her 35%, I'll take my 65%. You know, I couldn't keep it in the pants. I ain't gonna fry. I never, ever came up here and denied that or blamed anybody else for my problems. You know, the way my teen started out with me now being able to be home and around my family and friends, and I take accountability for that. A lot of people wouldn't. They would say, well, the environment I came up in, we had to do those things, or or with my marriage and me cheating. Um, my father cheated, and nah, you don't do that. You say, nah, I did it and I was wrong. It was wrong. And if I want to be a better man, you know, I need to own up to it and make a change in my life. You know, I think I'm a damn good father, a damn good father and grandfather. That don't mean I'm perfect. There are things I could do that I know I could do to get better. Even now, even though my kids are grown. But accountability is accountability. It's not a man version and a woman version. I don't think there is. Like I said, I'm no expert at everything. I'm no guru. I'm just a man talking to y'all about life. Hopefully I'm connecting with some of y'all. Michael Alexander, God's children fell because of the lack of knowledge. Seek and ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek knowledge. Yes, absolutely. Seek knowledge, man. Adam says, I started traveling in 1993. I realized at early age I wanted to live overseas. Yeah, I agree. I want to live overseas too. My first trip overseas, like, kind of like solidified that thought. Um, Louis Pagan says there's no such thing as emotional intelligence. Oh, you think so? You think so? I don't think so, bro. He says emotional intelligence is an oxymoron. Emotions are not intelligent. If you are intelligent, you don't let your emotions rule you, but you still have them. And I don't think it's about if they rule you or not. Shit, some people walk around can't tell the difference. Like, let's be real, man. Some people don't take the time to even tell the difference in the emotions that they're going through, or to even acknowledge them. They just stuff them down, like I said I used to do. He said, "Who guys this? The devil's real, and you better know how he attacks." That stoic. Everyone needs to hold themselves accountable. I agree, absolutely, 100%, 100%. There are many problems, internal, external. You improve one step at a time. There's no such thing as perfect. No Lindo's in the building. Men are being attacked through the woman in the family. That's how you destroy a family. Divide and conquer. No Lindo with the 10. Well, with the 9.99 super chat. Salute. He says T.O. Sabrino. Salute, bro. Salute, man. Let me give you the TJ super chat. Thank you. This is the thing. You said men are being attacked through the woman in the family. That's how you destroy family, divide and conquer. We all under attack. We're all under attack, though. That's the thing. And I mentioned this in a prior live stream. Man, this live stream I did that time, when I was saying that, I was talking about the relationship dynamics and how we as men need to understand that our women are basically under the same societal pressures um, that we are under. Our women have to work. For the most part, they have to work because we can't afford for our women to sit at home. That's the society we live in. That's the economy we live in for most of us. For most of us, you know what I mean? Our women have to work. Our women have to be educated. Um, the majority of them, not all of them, right? But you got men that don't understand that. You got men out here saying, I don't want my woman to work. Strong, independent women. Well, if they didn't have to be, if they didn't absolutely have to be, they wouldn't. I don't think they would, man. if they could find a man who could take care of them financially, you know, and emotionally, and protect and provide for them, and they didn't have to be out here under this immense pressure, I don't think they would choose that. Some would, of course, some would, you know, but I don't think the majority of them would, man. We're all under attack by the system. We all are. You're right. They want us divided. They want us divided, man. But at the end of the day, like we know, like we know the stats when we say, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, man. That's designed. It's designed to be like that. I believe. I believe it is. The goalpost is constantly being moved. You can't you can't say you're gonna have your wife stay at home um, and take care of the kids and not work if you live in paycheck to paycheck, man. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Follow and subscribe. That's the play, man. Who's behind this gender war, man? Who's really behind it, man? Who's pushing this shit, man? Because when the gender war was at its highest, when it was at its highest, um, people I talked to in real life didn't know nothing about it. That's why I was always against it. There's a lot of people that didn't know what the hell was going on. A lot of people still don't even know what a passport, bro, is. Just because we know it, we're on YouTube, we're around it, don't mean everybody else is. It sounds like it when you go online and everybody online is saying it, saying this. Everybody in your algorithm is saying it so much. You think everybody knows it, but nah. A lot of people ain't paying attention to the shit that we're talking about, the shit that we know. He said the emotions you feed determine your mindset. Feed the positive, start the negative. Absolutely, man. He's laughing, bro. Oh, he's laughing when I said Sabrina. I can't roll those R's though. R's is hard as hell. He said, we at war, my brothers. That's the problem, my brother. Women should not be working for another man. Yeah, we got to go out there and get it, but we know we against the odds, man. And that's the part that's hard for me to understand, man. We know this. We know what's going on. We know how hard it is out here for us by ourselves alone as men, right? But we don't want to give nobody else no grace, man. I'll never shame a woman for being independent or wanting to go to school or wanting to progress in a career. I never would. And you can call me a simp for that. You can say what you want to say. I never will. I'll never will because we're teaching them to do that. Also, I raised my daughter, go out there, find a good man, don't work. Ain't not. No. You can't afford to teach your daughters that nowadays. You could teach them, but at the same time, you gotta have them ready to compete in this economy that we're in also because it takes two nowadays, man. That's just the truth. Like that, like I said, that live stream was the most dislikes I ever had because I was talking like that. That's how I talked the whole live stream. Man, they thumbs down and like, wow. Shit, my average like percentage is like 99%. It's way up there. I don't get that many likes. But that live stream, it was like 70%. But it's the truth. It's the way I see it. It's the truth. Y'all know me. I try to see both sides. And I think that's pretty easy to see. And there's no way we could be out here complaining that it takes two paychecks, you know, but then we don't want a woman that's out here trying to work. And I don't get it. I know there's other shit with it. And this live stream ain't really about that. But it's good when you can see both sides of an argument, man. You're not just focused on winning the argument so much that you don't even care what the other person got to talk about, what to say, man. So we went over. Let me catch up on these messages real quick. He said the prey fighting each other while the predators feast undisturbed. Absolutely, man. Satan is behind it. All the fallen angels, my brother. Ironically, feminism was coined by a male. Exactly. Thank you for saying that, man. I remember saying that a long time ago. Like, who the hell you think forced all of this? Who you think were the judges passing all these laws, man? The majority of positions of power are held by men. You know what I mean? Especially back then when feminism was coming in. You know, the vast majority of positions of power were held by men. You know, just saying. Thank you, bro. Wishy's in the building. Hey, Wishy, how you doing? Robin Hood, yeah. Feature Life is in the building. Salute, my brother. Hopping out the bushes for like number 13. Yes, please hit that like button, man. If y'all in here, please do me a favor and hit that like button, man. Let people know that, there's a community over there and they just having some down to earth conversations, man. That's the best thing you could do for me, man. Please hit that like button. I would very much appreciate it. Government wants people living paycheck to paycheck, and it's working. Whatever they doing is working, and we turn right around. You earn it before you even gets in your hand. They take their little slice. When you spend it, when you save it, they want some. They gonna get theirs, man, and they gonna keep you on that hamster wheel, distracted. You're all right. Very few people have savings to cover a medical emergency. They want us divided. Yes, man. So instead of out here trying to fight a gender war, all of us, because you know what, all of us are not going to become passport bros. All of us are not going to become expats. All of us can't afford that AI girlfriend or boyfriend they about to come out with. You know what I'm saying? Instead of focusing on all the negative shit, all the negative things out here, like instead of focusing on the people that you don't want in your life, the people that you're upset with, that you want nothing to do with, focus on the people you want, the people you're attracted to, the beautiful things, if you want to call it that. I'm not going to go out here and argue with millions of women I don't want. I'm going to focus on the one I want. How hard is that? How hard is that? It's not hard at all, man. I'm not arguing with third wave feminists. It's not going to happen. I'm not. Because I'm not arguing with anybody, really, Because for the most part, it doesn't change anything. I'm not stuck up in as at that much that I could think that my argument is going to make all the feminists change enough for me so I could date them. And I think that's the problem, bro. Because I don't get it any other way. I don't get it at all. The gender war has always perplexed me. I never understood it. But if y'all can explain it to me, man, please. Yeah. Truth hurts actually does. In Thailand, they don't pay house and car taxes. So no property taxes, huh? Damn. Everything you was told in school is a lie. Beat your life, Adam. Hello from Miss Wishy. Give me 1 second, guys, please. Let me give me 1 second. I'll be right back. If I can find the thing, I'll be right.
Don't confuse a message for the man that was saying with it. Some lessons meant to heal, others to build. I ain't repenting shit. Now my scars are my armor, and I'm equipped with it. Pain taught me discipline, now I move different with it. They used to call me two guns, now I'm mentor to a sons. Taught them how to crawl, how to walk, and how to run. And I still sit and deliver, I ain't done. Legacy in motion, newest chapters just begun. I learned more from my loss than the times I won.
All right. I apologize. My son was calling me. Just had to go handle something real quick. I'm back. So we got like 10 more minutes of this segment before we wrap it up. And then, like I said, if you guys stick around, my mic's on? Yeah, all right. You guys stick around. You will be redirected right into the open panel. Go in there. No monologue. I said all I had to say. We open it right up. You guys want to come up? I'm expecting a special guest to come through. So hopefully that happens. You guys want to stick around, man, I would appreciate it. But like I said, we went through all the stages of the Manosphere, man. I'm going to go through them real quick, and I'm going to lay out the last stage, and then we'll be ready to move on to the open panel. So I talked about the awakening. You wake up, realize you've been living a life that's not yours. You've been chasing a dream that's not yours. You've been actually fulfilling everyone else around you, your dream, and you call that your dream. You know what I'm saying? And then one day you wake up and you're like, nah, this ain't my life. This ain't what I wanted. This ain't what I signed up for, man. I sacrificed my whole life. And what do I have? What do I have to show for it? That's not a bad thing, man. It's just a step in life. It's just a stage you got to go through. You know, I've been there. I know. Hey, I can't force it on y'all, but I know a lot of y'all been there too. You know, the awakening. You know, and that a lot of times leads into the anger stage. You know, because at first you don't know what's really going on, man. You lost, man. You don't really know why you feel the way you feel, why you feel less than depressed, why you know. But then you get that connection, and now you got somebody to blame. It could be the matrix, the system. It could be women, men. You got somewhere to direct. You have a direction, you know, to project your feelings onto someone, something, you know. But the anger stage is where the doom merchants lie at. I'm telling you, man, you're fresh and fits. I don't even know who else to say, because I know I be dogging them, man. I'll be dogging them. But that's the type of person I'm talking about. They're gonna feed you that anger. I mean, a lot of times it's the mainstream media also. You know, they feed you that doom and destruction, man. They want you to stay there. You know, they'll tell you, like Cisco said earlier, they know all the problems, but they'll never give you a solution, right? And it shouldn't be that way, right? If they really cared about you, man or woman, if they really cared about you, they will want you to progress to the next step, man. And that's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is people stopping you from progressing to the next level. They don't want you to get there because they're gonna lose a customer. Man, I be talking about all this shit, man. This is my content in a nutshell. Besides if I'm doing like some trip or something like that, this is my content, man. Real conversations like this, right? After the anger, you know, you need to progress to stage number 3, the mirror stage, where you take an honest look at yourself, right? You look in that mirror and you say, look, my life is this way because of the decisions I made. Now, some of it may be on somebody else, some of it may be on the government, some of it may be on the woman I was with, the job that got rid of me after I put 30 years in, 20 years in. You know what I'm saying? So if you can look in that mirror and say, look, that person was wrong, but this is the part I have to take. My 10%. If you, you know, my 90%. Whatever it is, man. You take responsibility for your actions, for your flaws. You either you either ignore them and stay where you're at, or you acknowledge them and change and you progress. That's the choice. That's a choice you have, man. I can't tell you what to do. That's on you. Take accountability though. Don't come back around crying and complaining and being all toxic, you know, because you decided that you wanted to stay stuck in a place that you didn't have to for years and years and years, you know, right? After the mirror stage, after you done took a good hard look at yourself and, you know, was able to own up to you being a reason for your lot in life. The next stage is the silence. And this is where the plan is done. This is where you figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to end up at. Also, how you get there. The work is done in the silence. It's not done, like I said, in front of the crowd, the audience. Nah, it ain't done for them. Right? It's done by you for you. The work is done in silence, man. And this is where we see a lot of people figure that they want to start working on themselves first. Usually you'll see them start hitting the gym, changing their diets, you know, because that's motivation in itself, man. That's gratification in itself. So salute to everybody out there right now that's in the silent stage, right? That's getting the work done. And last but definitely not least is the advocate stage. And this is the stage I love, like, because this is the giving back stage. This is the guiding stage, man. It's not that you made it and you know everything, but you've been through it and you can help other people go through it as well. Like I said, I can't advocate from this part yet. I haven't made it there yet. All I want to do is talk to y'all about the shit I'm implementing or trying to implement in my life that's working for me. You know, and hopefully y'all see it, man. Hopefully y'all see it. And I want to do it with everything with a positive spin on it. Even though I'm talking shit about America, you know, I'm gonna try to put a positive spin on it. But this is a stage that a lot of men also don't want to do. A lot of women also don't want to do, man. They don't want to talk at all. They don't want to speak at all. They don't want to give back at all. They just want, they done made it to this stage and they like, look, I done been through it. I'm tired of the BS. I know if I dip my toe in that water, it might have some mud, it might have some piss on it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. But believe me, man, we need advocates because we need people, especially talking to our youth that have been through something. The people with the loudest voice are in stage 2. They're in their anger. That's why they're so loud, because they're angry. I don't care how they act. I don't care. I mean, I don't care what they say. I don't care how they floss. I don't care how they look. I don't care what they got around them. If you are out there pushing negativity, right? If you are out there hurting people, if you are out there disrupting good things, you're in that stage, man. You're miserable. I don't care if you floss and it looks good. We see right through that shit. We see right through it. We need more advocates, more positive advocates. That's why I encourage people to talk all the fucking time, man. Speak up, let your voice get heard. We need to stop getting drowned out by the people stuck in stage 2. Shit. We need to advocate for them to move on and up to stage 3. Get them out of that anger, man. Make them look in the mirror. So salute, man. He said arguing with one woman is hard enough. Yeah, it's 11:30. It's time to wrap this one up, man. Hopefully y'all will join me. When I end this stream, it's gonna flip and reload and start the open panel. So y'all don't have to do nothing. All y'all gotta do is stay right where you're at. If you want to move on, if you want to come up, please, guys. We need to hear from y'all, man. We got some experience in this chat right now, man. I'm giving y'all the floor. I'm giving y'all the mic. Take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it, man. So salute. Right, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to end this one, and we're going to be right back. See y'all on the other side.
Don't confuse a message for the man that was sent with it. Some lessons meant to heal, others to build. I ain't repenting shit. Now my scars are my armor, and I'm equipped with it. Pain taught me discipline, now I move different with it. They used to call me 2 guns, now I'm mentor to her sons. Taught them how to crawl, how to walk, and how to run. And I still sit and deliver, I ain't done. Legacy in motion, newest chapters just begun.